The Honjo Masamune is the ultimate samurai sword, regarded as a national treasure in Japan. It's a masterpiece of craftsmanship, shaped by fire, born of water, and forged by the legendary swordsmith Masamune centuries ago. It wasn't just a weapon, but a symbol of honor, justice, and power, passed down through the hands of shoguns for over 700 years. But after World War II, it suddenly vanished. Some say a US sergeant took it to be destroyed, while others believe he saved it, bringing it home to America. Now worth millions of dollars, experts believe the Honjo Masamune may still be out there. In the late 13th century, Japan faced a serious threat from the Mongol invasions led by Kublai Khan. Japanese weapons were failing against the Mongols' tough armor, so the rulers of Kamakura province turned to Masamune, swordsmith. Masamune developed revolutionary techniques, crafting swords that could withstand battle without breaking. He created a blade with over 30,000 layers, combining a flexible spine with a razor-sharp edge, perfect for both cutting and defense. His techniques, which involved cooling the steel in water to give the sword different properties along its edge and spine, brought the Japanese sword to its pinnacle of perfection, exemplified by the Honjo Masamune. Masamune's swords were not only battle-tested, but also steeped in legend. One famous story tells of a competition between Masamune and his pupil. The pupil's sword cut everything in its path, leaves, twigs, even the water of the stream they were testing it in. Masamune's blade, on the other hand, cut nothing. A bystander claimed that Masamune's sword did not cut needlessly, showing that it was discerning and just, reflecting the honor and wisdom of its maker. The Honjo Masamune became famous in the 16th century when it was used by General Honjo Shigenaga in battle. The sword had already claimed many heads, but Shigenaga ultimately prevailed and took it as his prize, forever associating the blade with his name. Later, the sword was sold for 13 gold coins, and eventually it passed into the hands of Tokugawa Ieyasu, the shogun who would unify Japan and establish the Tokugawa shogunate, bringing 250 years of peace. For centuries, the Honjo Masamune was the ceremonial sword of the ruling shoguns. In 1939, the Honjo Masamune was declared a Japanese national treasure, but after World War II, it mysteriously disappeared. Following Japan's surrender in 1945, General Douglas MacArthur issued orders to confiscate all weapons, including swords, to prevent future warfare. Thousands of swords were surrendered, and many were destroyed. Among the confiscated blades was the Honjo Masamune, handed over by Tokugawa Ieyasu, a descendant of the Tokugawa shoguns. He took the family's swords, including the Honjo Masamune, to a Tokyo police station. It was never seen again. The first clue about the Honjo Masamune's fate surfaced in 1966 in an article from an American magazine, which suggested that a U.S. sergeant named Coldy Bymore collected the sword from the police station. However, the name appears to be a mistranslation, and no records of such a person exist in the U.S. Army archives. Nevertheless, it's known that many swords were taken by American soldiers as war trophies, with permission to bring home one gun and one sword. It's possible that the Honjo Masamune was taken home by a soldier who didn't realize its immense cultural and historical value. The trail of the Honjo Masamune goes cold after it left the police station. The sword could have been destroyed along with countless others, or it may still be hidden in an attic somewhere waiting to be rediscovered. Its unique signature, the hamen, or the pattern along its edge, was meticulously recorded in 1939 when it was declared a national treasure. If the sword ever resurfaces, it can be identified with certainty. However, due to Japan's strict laws around returning national treasures, any finder may choose to keep the sword's discovery a secret. The disappearance of the Honjo Masamune has only added to its mystique. No longer just a historical artifact, it has become a legendary symbol of the samurai and the lost art of sword making. As long as the sword remains missing, its story will continue to captivate collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. While its whereabouts may be unknown, the dream of finding the lost sword of the samurai keeps the legend alive.